I see two different reactions to this right now. I see conversations on Valuetainment. They had like 200,000 people, right? And I seen conversations on the Breakfast Club. They had maybe 13,000 people. And on Valuetainment, they was having a very important discussion, right? One of them was Candace Owens. You got the owner, and a bunch of other people I never knew. But they were talking about holding Trump to fire. And first of all, it's a conversation that I respected an aspect of it because they were talking about holding him to fire for his campaign promises. And they were criticizing him. And this is his base that supports him. But they were criticizing him for some moves that he was making. And they were saying that we have to be prepared to fight him so that he keeps the promises that he made to us. And I'm like, man, I have not seen the Democrats do that. I ain't seen them do that. And so it's funny because the Democrats I seen, I'm not going to lie. It was a little sad when I was watching the Democrats talk about Kamala. It was sad over there. It was like a funeral. I couldn't keep watching it. It wasn't no energy, no nothing. It was like, damn, as soon as I turned it on, they act like she already, like she gone, like they planning a funeral or something. I'm like, what's up? You got to keep some energy up, keep the energy high. But they were talking about race in America and things of that nature. And there was a lot of truths that they was talking about, but they were talking about, all the things that went wrong and a bunch of rhetoric that I typically hear, right? But I think that the conversation that the people having over the Republican side was that they were really taking this very serious and they were thinking in their best interest. And there was something that was sent to me of how to vote like a radical. And they say, never vote for the opponent that you love. Vote for the one that's your best equipped to fight. Man, I thought that was so powerful. They said, vote for the one you best equipped to fight because once they become elected, they become your opponent. Right? Once they become elected, they become your opponent. And I think that's so deep as an idea, right? And I think that there were so many mistakes made in this election, and I learned a whole lot, more than I ever knew about politics. And it actually changed my mind about a lot of things in politics as far as our power in it and how you can utilize things. Now, they're already screaming low voter turnout. And I had this conversation earlier and I said, I don't think that all of this money being thrown around is going to translate on the election day. I don't think that's what it represents. And the reason I do that is because I study communities. I study funnels, right? I study branding, things of that nature. And I understand that there's an organic creator and they get real support. People show up for them in a real person. Like I'm one of them type of people, right? This is why we able to tour and we get thousands of people show up. There can be somebody else with millions of followers and they go do a tour and nobody shows up. But they have spent a lot of money becoming known, right? So it looks like they got a lot of motion, but it doesn't translate. So this election was the most money spent ever on an election. So it was money spent to manipulate the people on both sides. The problem, and I was telling my bro this, I said, and he's a Democrat, he's voting Democratic. And I was saying, I don't think that this is going to translate on the election day. I don't think we're going to see that translate to high voter turnout because I don't think that, throwing money and throwing concerts and things of that nature, it will get you content to be seen. But the funnel for our generation is different. We need connection, not virality, in order for us to be engaged and activated in real life. And this is something that y'all can learn about for 2025. Having followers don't mean nothing. Listen to this, right? Having followers don't mean nothing. Spending money to engage followers don't mean nothing. It's all about core supporters. What the man Donald Trump has is a core base that is invigorated behind him, that he doesn't have to pay to be invigorated behind, because they agree on a political philosophy about America. And what happened in the Democratic side is they wasn't willing to do anything radical to win the vote. Yet they said that this was the most sensational, important election ever. But the only people that she sat down with, quite frankly, was athletes. Now, and Obama went to go speak to some athletes and entertainers. I didn't see them speak to anybody that has the black voice and respect in a way that translates. Because just because we watch somebody for entertainment does not mean whatsoever that translates to any other aspect within our lives, because the landscape has changed. We are now more sophisticated in how we group things. We'll watch you because you're entertaining, but I'm not listening to you when it comes to politics. Now, you can't confuse Shay Shay Club, you feel me, for translating into any type of vote politically whatsoever because he has motion. You just can't do that. I know the people that Black America listen to. I'm one of them. I've seen so many mistakes happening, and I'm like, how are they so confident running this play? This play don't make no sense to me. Like, dude, is it not known about, and it's not that much market research you need to do. It's not that hard. I ain't talking about just taking pictures with them. I'm not talking about just having some dinner with them, eating some salmon. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having an authentic connection so that funnels, that trust, that the person that you trust, that you go to for whatever leadership in whatever area, translates to that opponent. Why y'all asking me who I voted for, man? Why y'all so nosy? Dang, man, ain't that supposed to be like one of them things like, ask people like how a woman's weight is? Come on, man. Why y'all all up in Keys election cycle? What's going on? I live in California, first of all. My vote don't even matter. Like, California is sewn up. My vote is symbolic to the Electoral College in America. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what we even talk about? I don't live in a swing state. First of all. So you got to understand. I did my research. Who did y'all vote for? Who did y'all vote for is the question. I vote for. You know what I'm talking about? All I know is the America, I get excited around transitions and changes and different things that happen in America, because also there are things that bring us together, and there's things that forces us to change, and there's things that puts us to sleep. I can tell you this, though, and I don't know why they keep trying to run the play, but there's writing on the wall that would tell you when it's time. But I don't think America is not ready for the female presidents that have been presented to us. Like, if you wanted to win and you wanted a real good chance of winning, you would have gotten Miss Obama. That's probably the only black woman that could have won. That's the only one you could have got. You could have got Miss Obama. That's the only one that would have. Miss Michelle, she had the best chance of winning. And for some reason, they just refused to give us somebody with black American lineage. Well, not for some reason. I understand the reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we have nobody that actually has black ancestral lineage, you know what I'm saying, is even got close to winning. But Miss Michelle Obama, she would have won. She got too much grace, too much class, you know what I'm saying? And she's too high, favorably loved and liked, even more than Obama. That would have been a vote that people would have been energized to cast, right? But they didn't run the play. They did not run the play. That was the only, you see, they try to run this thing and saying that it's about a black female, but it's really about the one that you choose. And the question wasn't about whether you vote for a black woman or a woman of color. It was about which woman that you choose. We've seen Hillary lost. First of all, Donald Trump does well against women because he's the polar opposite, right? It's not the best play to run against that man. He's the polar opposite. He's a man. This is a woman. That's not the best play to run against him. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a shining candidate. You know what I'm saying? You have to get somebody that represents some stability and that represents a shining beacon without them even having to say nothing. Reputationally great. There was too many things that needed to be explained, and there was too much lack of straight talk, right, and love, and there was so much people having to get paid to say things in order for them to utilize their platform. And I'm talking to people who's getting big checks. And they like, yeah, I got 100,000, I got 200,000, blah, blah, blah. They're like, man, I don't give a fuck about that shit. I just wanted the money. They're like, would you turn it down? I'm like, I probably would have, but I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand. You know what I'm saying? Because those same people that posted something for 5 minutes, now they can take the post down and that check still clears and y'all don't care about it. Y'all go about your day. So the money does not translate. There was not enough authenticity and connection. And you have to learn this as a creator because there's a lot of creators because the vote is like money. The vote is like your follower base giving you money. That's what it's like. Everybody that has followers don't have supporters that will give them money. That they're going to buy stuff, they're going to like, they're going to support, they're going to do things. So you see some people that can have 1 million followers, but their engagement is so low that only like 0.1% of their followers support and turn out. And you wonder why. I see people with large followings and their comments be like 10 people. So you have to be very careful. You know what I mean? When you running a play, you have to be authentic and you have to be real. In 2025, the play is going to continue to change, right? And you have to be real about everything that you do. I think there was a grave mistake because they also ran a woman who has a Jewish Zionist husband, and she turned down having a Jewish Zionist running mate because she didn't want to lose. And so she brought in this very boring running mate. I forget his name. Doug. No, his name Doug? Was it Harris and... Damn, I forgot his name already. See, that's how boring the man is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he boring. He disappeared like Kamala did when she was vice president for Biden. I forgot what his name is. Somebody remind me what his name is. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely one of them type of people. Tim. Mr. Tim. Let's bring in Mr. Tim. That man ain't help at all. He was washed. Mr. Tim was washed. Tim ain't help at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, his name is Waltz. Oh, they was not washed. Tim Waltz. You know what I'm saying? Waltz could not tango. You know what I'm saying? Not in this election. Tim didn't do nothing. I ain't gonna lie. Tim ain't moving. He ain't moving needle. Old Tim should just set this one out. You know what I'm saying? She could have brought anybody else. She might as well have ran 2 women. She might as well just did something different because they played so safe that they wasn't a danger. Man, you got to throw a curveball in there. You got to throw something. You got to say something different. You feel me? You got to do something different. But old Tim, that ain't even the type of white man another white man like. She was supposed to go get somebody that at least was like, she should have got RFK when he called. She should have got Robert F. Kennedy when he called. They didn't even take the man's phone call. So then he took his votes over there to Donald Trump. Man, I don't know. I think they was playing with y'all. They just got y'all hope up, knowing that they was gonna lose.